Alrighty guys, so Okabe is back in the main, well, the world line for this part of the story for the Zero or Beta world line. And man, oh man, did a lot happen this episode. Not a lot of plot progression, really, but a lot of really intense moments. So first off, Okabe wakes up. He's in the hospital because apparently he collapsed. I guess when reading Steiner kicked in and he came back to this world line. I guess that's kind of what ended up happening for the whole like him getting sent back into his current beta world line out of the alpha world line into beta. So that was interesting. But so did Fubuki, I think was her name, the one of Mayuri's friends. But she also had a dream, which was her dream was, or at least seemed like a retained memory from that Alpha World line of her working with Ferris at the Maid Cafe because Mayuri was gone. That was really cool, and I always love how, like, Okabe can clearly remember segments of, not segments, he can remember the entire world line he's been in, which means that for him to travel through time the way he did before, God knows how many world lines he's been through to experience everything that he's seen. But then people without reading Steiner also have very small instances of memory where they can recall things that really impacted them in the previous world line, but they only really see them as dreams, which is really neat to see how that all works in this universe. But getting back to it, they let Okabe out of the hospital, and he was with the group, Maho and all of them. He's through the entire episode, it seems like he's trying to piece together who attacked the lab. And I think the group that he discovered was supposed to be like an imitation or a parody of DARPA, who is DERPA. They were the ones trying to do research in America, while Russia is also doing experiments, and their experimentation is causing earthquakes and stuff like that, which is also causing the world lines to change. Now, in this case, because of the fact that the world line is still continuing to change, Suzuha is very, very, very dead set on getting Okabe back into the time machine and taking him back to July 28th to try to alter or fix the world line to make it to the Steins Gate world line. So dead set, in fact, that she pointed a gun at him and also shot at him and grazed his cheek, which, oh boy, that was intense. And of course threatened to actually shoot him. And Dorrough, this, now in my eyes from this episode, a god among men. Not really. He's cool, but not that great. He diffused the situation, comforted Suzuha, and is very confident in the fact that at some point Hoin Kyomo will return and will save the time, save the timeline, save that world line specifically, because we had a moment of Okabe talking about like how many world lines he'd been through and how many lives and memories he's trampled because of his careless time skips. Oh, yeah. So there was that. And because of the fact that somebody raided, I think they were raiding the lab for Amadeus, and because of that, they also, I think they raided Maho's hotel, or they were going to, so they wanted to move Maho. So Maho is now staying with Ferris, and it took her almost no time to warm up. Well, no, it took Ferris no time to warm up to Maho. So there was that. So yeah. And it also took her no time to pretty much ruin the room she was staying in. It took her a day. And yeah, that was something. And of course, then we actually see them bring to a point, like obviously Kurisu brought this up last episode when she was alive in the Alpha World line. But in this episode, we see them piecing together, like they were raiding the lab and trying to get any bit of information they can from Makise Kurisu's memories out of Amadeus about time machines, because if they built a time machine based on a time machine from the future, they would then create a paradox, which would not work, and they could really damage time. and stuff like that. So there was that little dilemma, which is why they raided the lab, or at least why it seems like they raided the lab. And we're kind of seeing some plot progression, but not a whole lot, just because it seems like they're very, very dead set on establishing a lot of stuff, which I appreciate, because they kind of have to in a time machine, time travel show, but yeah, it was interesting. But overall, I did really enjoy this episode, and if you guys want to see the reaction to it, head on down to the link in the description. Once you're down there, watch it, like, subscribe. When you're done, leave a comment, letting me know what you guys think. Always love hearing what you guys have to say. And of course, I will see you all in the next video. Make sure to be there, and have a good one.